Hello. Welcome, everyone. This is the fastest that a waiting room, I think, has filled up for these Hats Partner Roundtables. I'm so excited to see everyone. I'll give everyone a couple minutes to join because the waiting room keeps filling up and then emptying and filling up and emptying, which is great to see. But welcome to our final partner roundtable of 2025. My name is Mark. I'm the AI adoption manager at Hats. We have the full Hats team here with us, and we'll make introductions as we go along. But this is our November and December partner roundtable, where all of our MSP partners can come together to hear from the Hats team about things that we've been working on over the past couple of months, things that we're working on in the new year, hear from some other partners about how they're going to market with Hats, and ask questions and just connect with our broader partner community. So yeah, thank you to everyone who's joining today. And we also have some new faces to introduce, I think, which is going to be exciting. So that being said, we'll keep letting people in here, give everyone a couple minutes, but just to cover off some housekeeping things, roundtable format means you can interact with everyone. We have the chat open. While we're getting started, why don't you all, say where you're calling in from, how long you've been a Hats partner, what you're looking forward to in the new year. You can interact with other partners, and we have a bunch of our engineering team on to help hopefully answer some questions as we go. But we will have Q&A at the end as well. And with that being said, it's 12:02. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put our CEO and co-founder, Jimmy Hatzel, on the spot here for a second. Jimmy, we had quite a year. Can you just talk to us a little bit about how the year was from your perspective, what some of the highlights were? Just tell us about what 2025 looked like to Jimmy Hatzel.
I mean, it's been a fun, unbelievable year. It's hard to think that long because in AI, things like just move so fast and things change. And like, I can barely think back past the last release cycle most of the time. But it's been a great year. Just like getting out to see partners. I didn't leave the office much, to be honest. Like I personally was in our office in New York City for probably more time than I spent in my own apartment this year, definitely actually. But just like all the partners we've met, all the people who've gotten started on the platform, all the partners who got going early in the year who are, have like 40, 50 customers on the platform now. Like it's just unbelievable. Um, looking at these pictures, like I was at most of these things, most of them, some of them I wasn't. And then our own team, I mean, I think we've 3, 4x the size of the team this year, at least. So it's been great. And wow, to see 102, 103 people on this meeting right now, that's scaling up. Um, it's awesome. I think too, like all of the things that we released this year, like so I was looking back at some of my old notes and AI didn't have like web search built in until about this time last year. And tool calling wasn't really a thing. Like it was sort of like a concept. Um, Mark, if you want to go on to the
Yeah.
next, yeah, like just thinking about how much the platform has grown over the past year. Um, we've done a lot of releases, released a lot of features, a lot of fix, a lot of iterations. Um, like there's just been so much, and like to think of how you could use AI a year ago or in January versus now is like it's amazing. Like I remember thinking, what's it going to be like when GPT-5 comes out? And then GPT-5 came out, and we're like, oh well. we're just going to leap that three more times, right? In like the course of weeks and in the possibilities. Um, how many community like last month we had 4,000 workshop items created on the platform, so agents, apps, and workflows like that. That is amazing. I think we were averaging like 100 a month total in January, if that. So, like the usage has been insane. The features have been like we've just released so much. Our engineering team has grown. Support, like I think at the beginning of the year um, we were literally taking in emails just from a shared email inbox. Now we have like a full AI docs page, and a lot of people can get answers really quick with a dedicated team of people jumping in and answering on top of that. um, like so many features from an MSP admin point of view. Like all the multi-tenant features and more to come on that. But then just so many improvements on sort of like the chat and releasing workflows and releasing agents and groups and sort of like things that seem pretty niche, but they're like really big, complex features um like being able to do find and replace in Word documents and autofill in PDFs and um, it, the training too, Mark. I mean, it's hard for me to think about the whole year in review, and I we keep feeding our engineering team in both literal food and tickets to complete. Um, uh, because the pace at which things are developing and how much we're able to release is has been a lot of fun, and we continue to keep upping the standard every week and every month as we add more to the team. So I it's I don't know. I guess in summary, it's hard for me to think of all the things in the course of a year. I mean, we're long past the days of like, quarterly release cycles and even monthly release cycles. It's every week, and even starting with feature Fridays where, we have to have a dedicated meeting with, sometimes 60, 70 people joining just to go over like here are the new features from the past week. Um, it's been crazy. It's been a lot of fun. I don't know what my favorite is. My favorite changes every day.
Well, my favorite, I think, is Lark Meeper. Pretty fun one. I think it's helped us out a lot. And there is a poll going if everyone wants to take a second to fill that out. It looks like most of you already have, but we do have a poll. What was your favorite hats update of 2025? Could be something on this list. This was basically just there are like 30 things here, and we had more than 30 releases. These were just like the top of mind ones. You might have a favorite that's not on here. We'd love to hear that. And you can also put it in the chat. We'd just love to hear what has been the most impactful and most meaningful new feature for you and for your clients. And if you can take a second to fill out that poll, we'll leave it up for a few more minutes and then we'll take it down. But yeah, thanks, Jimmy. I'm sure we'll hear from you throughout the roundtable as we go. But I just wanted to get your sense. You've had your thumb on the pulse of you know, everything over the past year, and it's just good to hear from you to kick things off. So, okay, we'll
I'm
keep
not,
on moving.
not sure we're seeing the poll for what it's worth, Mark.
Oh, okay. It looks like
We've had 46 responses.
Oh,
Maybe it might be a Zoom version potentially.
it's not.
yeah. I'll
Just
uh
several of us are saying in the chat we don't see it, just for what it's worth.
Yeah.
I
Ugh.
okay,
think they joined after the poll was published.
got it.
Oh, can you run it? Can you
Yeah,
stop it and then start it again?
I think so. Relaunch poll. There we go. Cool. Um, Thanks for letting me know, Milton. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. All right, so we'll keep on moving. This was the poll. These are the two questions. What was your favorite hats update? And do you have a firm plan to sell AI as a service in 2026? So we'll leave that up for a couple more minutes. I'm just putting these up. These are some tentative dates for Roundtable, the schedule in 2026. We're going to try to keep to a pretty regular cadence and let you know ahead of time when these roundtables will be so you can block off the time on your calendar. Um, yeah, so this is like what Q1 is probably going to look like. Dates and times subject to change, but we'll make a firm announcement at the end of the year. Kelsey, I'm going to toss it over to you for a second. Where in the world will you find hats next year?
Yes, that is the question. Honestly, all of us want to know. I am knee deep in 2026 planning. It's kind of the only thing on my brain right now. And I actually have a request from everyone. If there is a community that you're a part of, a peer group that you're in, somewhere that you would just really like to see us, I cannot make any promises that will be there, but I can make a promise to add it to my list of considerations for the team. You can send it to me directly here. You can always find me on LinkedIn. You can email me. It's just kelsey@hats.ai. Always happy to take suggestions from y'all. You know, we are partner facing in all things that we do. Also, just to go back to slide 3 really quick, you don't need to move it, but 8 of the 13 photos that Mark had featured myself. And I just want to say that's just because I'm the only one who ever remembers to take photos. But I urge all of you next year, if you see us, get a photo with us, and I will make sure that Mark puts it in the final roundtable of next year.
Thank
Oh,
you,
and then
Kelsey.
I get to tease something on the next slide. I get to share
Yep.
something no one's talked about yet. We are starting something new this week, and y'all are the first to hear about it. Matt and JP are going to go into a lot more whenever it's their turn to talk, but I officially welcome y'all to the 12 days of Hatsmas.
That's going to be sprinkled throughout the roundtable, so something to look forward to. Thank you so much, Kelsey. Okay. Quick note on education and adoption because there have been a lot of updates. Last month, we announced the new AI Navigator certification. This is, and I want to be really loud, all caps, neon sign about this. This is your HATS onboarding for both your MSP and all of your clients. This is a quick, like, it says 90 minutes here. You can do it in 45. You can do it in 60, not a problem. It is a kickoff call, an asynchronous kickoff call. This is exactly what me, JP, Mike, Jack, what we would do if we were on a kickoff call with you and your client in the room. It's a pre-recorded kickoff call that they can follow. It's how to navigate the chat, all of the buttons, where to click, what to do, what everything means. Then a 30-day check-in with a use case ideation workshop. This is how we think about use cases and building workshop items. And then how to navigate the workshop, how to click, what the discover page is, what my items are, all of duplicating things. This is literally what we would do if we were running the onboarding for your clients. So as people sign up for the platform with you, this should be part and parcel of what you are providing through the learning portal. This goes hand in hand with that AI champion certification, which I'll talk about how those kind of play off of each other in just a second. But this is for everyone. This isn't just for your clients. It's not just internal. Everyone should be taking the Navigator certification. And then this is cool too. This just came out officially yesterday. It was available last week, but only a few people could see it. But now everyone can see this in the learning portal. It is the Quick AI Skills micro learning series. It's not a certification. There's no quizzes, nothing like that. They're short, quick little videos with things like the secure chat features, how to do image generation best practices, how to create files with hats, building agents. There's like 8 or 10 videos in there now. I think we're going to get it up to 20 by the end of the month, and it'll be updated regularly with new features. So this is, you can point people to this. A lot of these videos will also be on our YouTube channel and on Docs, but they're all just kind of hanging out here in this one module, and you can click through. There's no prerequisites or anything that's required for this. So, we scaled down the training earlier in the year, and we're building it back up. but we're building it back up very intentionally. So if I were an MSP, I were onboarding a client, what would the process be? I would recommend AI Champion and AI Navigator almost simultaneously, less than 2 hours of training altogether. The AI Champion gets everyone on the same page, covers off terminology, what things mean in the platform, strategic adoption, like a 10-minute section on that, basic prompt engineering. And then the navigator is, well, how does that apply to the Hats platform that I'm using? So they really go hand in hand. You can take either one first, doesn't really matter, but they're both where I would start any new client coming to Hats. After that, go to the AI skills. In the AI skills, we're going to use terminology. We're going to assume that you've already taken these courses and there's a little bit of knowledge there. The AI IQ is at a certain level. And then what we're really excited about in 2026 is what a lot of you have been asking for, which is a deeper dive into prompting and workshop and different industry use cases and a really yeah, a deep dive, like to really master and just master the platform across these four different areas. So that's coming in 2026, but doesn't change anything about how to start. So with everything that we just talked about, push your clients to AI Champion and AI Navigator, and the rest will follow suit. Um, Quick plug for our YouTube channel. A lot of the videos that are on those courses are also available on YouTube. Roundtables are put on YouTube. Our feature Fridays are put on YouTube. Use case videos, all kinds of stuff gets put on here. So I recommend going to YouTube to subscribe to Hats. And if you still need more, we have new feature update announcements, new feature alerts that come out every Tuesday. Because when you hear from Matt, you're going to hear about all of the great updates we had in just this past month and what we're looking forward to in December. You can stay up to date with all of those. We send out use case videos, demo videos, documentation articles, highlights about how to talk about these new features to your clients. Those come out every Tuesday. So you can sign up for those. And I know Kelsey's dropping some links in the chat for all of these. And if you need more Hats time, we made mention of Feature Fridays. Every Friday at 11 a.m., you can join a recurring meeting with the Hats team to talk about the new features that came out the night before and how to use them, how to incorporate them into your workflows. And Ali will actually be talking about that in just a second. But I will talk about use case support. Tuesdays, there are four options for use case support: 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., and 3 p.m. This is great if you have some use cases that you're having trouble building, you just need some extra support, you want another set of eyes on them. Come to those, talk to your peers, talk to Hats, and we'll help get you sorted out. Ali, I'm going to put you on the spot for a second to talk about what we have planned for December.
Sure. So Festive Fridays. I know a bunch of people on this call have hopped on for our feature Fridays. We got really excited when we did, I think it was Spooky Fridays, for Halloween. So we decided we're gonna just keep going with the fun through the end of the year. So we do still have two, technically three more feature Fridays left for the year. Those would be our Festive Fridays. So be sure to hop on. We're going to do some flashbacks on what our favorite features were from the year. We still have a ton of releases slated, some great new features, some things I know people have requested. So be sure to hop on, join Mark and I. Mark won't be with me this Friday, but I will still be there. And hop on. It's a great way to learn about our features before we send out those release email updates on Tuesdays. And it's a great way to hang out with me and Mark.
Yeah, thanks, Ali. And yeah, you're totally right. This should say 5, 12, and 19. So the month of
That's
December,
okay.
5, 12, and 19 will all be festive Fridays. Wear your Santa hats. Jimmy wants Ali to wear a Santa hat. You absolutely should. We should all be wearing our
Maybe we'll
festive
get some
attire.
Christmas decor for this corner.
Wow,
Um,
they slide just got updated in real time.
um, awesome, thank you. That leads us into our partner spotlight section. And I know this goes into go to market, but I just want to introduce our partners who are doing the partner spotlight this month. It is IMS calling in all the way from South Carolina. We have Edward McMillan, Tim Morrissey, Emily Rothweiler, and Brandon Myers from IMS. So we're gonna put you guys on under the spotlight and talk about your go-to-market with AI as a service, your experiences with hats, and what it's been like, just bringing AI to your clients. So welcome, and I'll stop sharing my screen so we can see everybody.
Oh, and if people haven't seen IMS's fleet of planes and trucks, definitely check those out.
We need to use AI for our pictures, it looks like.
Yeah, so Brandon, I'll kick things off. During our prep call, and actually the call right before this, you were talking about your go to market strategy, and you said something that just caught me kind of by surprise. It shouldn't have really been a surprise. It was so profound. You said that you don't know how MSPs are going to market without it. Speaking of AI, so can you just talk a little bit about that and your mindset about bringing AI to clients as a baseline now, as part of your conversations?
Sure. So over the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, AI has been something that we were looking at to use internally and recognizing the power of it, how to automate all of our workflows, our customer support engagements. And as the market evolved, we noticed that, we were getting customer requests saying, hey, AI said to solve problems, and here's how to do it as our support tickets. And as we started to peel that back, we recognized is that, there's conversations happening with the business leaders and not necessarily always the prescribed decision maker that you get out of the maybe your Zoom Info or your Apollo AI type of feed list to go down and track down. And so we started unpacking those conversations and realizing that if we could start talking about AI and provide services to our customers from a perspective of security, from education, that it started opening up doors that we just didn't have before with our typical services. And I'm making an assumption a lot of us kind of have the same bundle of services positioned around security and support services, and we all have our different flavors of it. But we added that in, all of a sudden we went from trying to, make someone feel excited about security services, which are not just table stakes, but they're also just not an exciting conversation unless like a breach or something had happened, or there's a significant event, to talking about something that was innovative inside the customer environment, that you're talking to the people who are excited about their own business and you're enabling them to make their business better. And in the process, that's where we really kind of looked at hats to pull to our service portfolio. And that started, I'd say, the beginning of this year is where we really started pushing it out to our clients and really going live. But now we look up, we start talking, we're like, how are we talking to customers without this topic of conversation? So our lunch and learns and our get-togethers, our meetings, our webinars are all based about it. And we're getting customers in, we're getting, prospects saying after the meeting, we'll follow up with you, calling us the next day, come in, talk to us. And it's a different sales cycle than we've ever had before. And it got us pretty excited to say, hey, look, how would we have done this without it? And I don't want to really think about it, but I know it'd be a lot harder.
Yeah, yeah. And then I could also like on in continuing that thought. So I know I work closely with you, Tim, Edward, Emily, and a lot of what we've discussed is that, it's actually making it easier to get in front of newer customers that, typically wouldn't take the managed services conversation because they already have that kind of taken care of, but they don't have a secure AI platform. So can you shed a little bit of light on those experiences so far in terms of how it's helping land, new logos as well as expanding existing kind of customers that you guys have?
Yeah, and Tim, I think you had a good example of that just over the last 24 hours. If you want to talk about that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of connections that you can make and entries that people know you just around your different life cycles and circles of influence. And with this platform, and just with the whole concept of AI, we're able to not only talk about the secure platform and how they can adopt AI, we're actually being asked more consultative questions, during these conversations. So there's a family business that's a kind of a bookkeeping business that's rather small, but they have large customers, and they're doing a lot with just Google Drive and some spreadsheets and such. And we were able to actually just during the first initial conversation with them when we sat down in front of the front of the platform, we were actually able to take an upcoming meeting that they're having with a nonprofit organization that they were trying to land, and gave them all of the talking points that they need, and actually created an agent for them to be able to um, you know land the business essentially. So that was done within a half an hour. And what is surprising about this is we're not, as Brandon alluded to, we're not getting in at the director level. We're getting in with the founder, CEO, president of the companies. So, and that's been a really refreshing experience for us, because as much as we tried, we couldn't get in there very easily with traditional services. So um,
Excellent.
I will
That's
say that, yeah, I will say though that the platform, the ease of use and what you all are doing just on almost on a daily, certainly a weekly basis, of making the platform easier and easier to use. It may be because I'm in it every day, but now I'm able to. I was actually able just an hour ago to show a prospective customer that you don't actually have to go out and choose these tools. You just click this little slide button and say auto tool, and it gets you right there. So able to do it just real time, and shows value every meeting. So it's just awesome.
excellent. Appreciate that. Um, And then in kind of you mentioned it already, but being boots on the ground every day and using the workshop assistant and auto tooling and building these things out in meetings. I think, based on what you just said, it seems like it's getting customers more engaged and which is fantastic to see. And, in terms of like thinking about the customers that you've added, like the process that you typically follow for bringing on new customers that you guys work with. Do you have any kind of examples of what you're doing there and without being too specific, but just like, some of the meetings that have been extremely successful, is there anything that, is helpful to share in terms of where you guys are having a lot of success, given that you're doing a great job with us?
Yeah, it would actually be neat to see the chat and see what the other partners are experiencing. But we're able to get, if it's not a one call close, it's now it's especially a two call close. So we can probably get the business wrapped up within just a couple of meetings. And and really that new training platform that or a training system or thing that you put up there that you just spoke about is going to be helpful, because the kickoff meeting has been very smooth, but I think it could be smoother. Uh, Emily and Edward really, took the ball, and we wanted to increase adoption as much as possible rather than just selling another tool to somebody and have them not use it. So our 30, 60, 90-day adoption plan has been really successful, showing just mapping out a course for these people to do the crawl, walk, run approach interdepartmentally within their organization. That's been really successful for us, because the more they adopt, the more they use, the happier they are, and then they come back to us with, well, we're coming back with network security questions, and well, what do you guys do for end user support? that's our traditional business. So that's why we're using this as a gateway to get in.
Excellent. Thank you. That's very helpful. I think Mark, one remaining question, and then we'll keep going here.
Yeah, and this is for everyone. All four of you who are on. I mean, you've added multiple clients to the platform. You mentioned, one yesterday, and another one might be signing during this roundtable. Um, you've also talked about, you're hoping to get a better eye on the consumption metrics and the engagement. And I know that Matt's going to talk about that here in a couple minutes. um, there's some things that you would want to package into your managed services that aren't quite there yet, right? The platform is still evolving every week. But what would you say for MSPs who are hesitant to start because they might be waiting for a certain feature or the perfect setup? How would you talk about getting started now versus waiting based on your experience signing up these clients?
I've heard you guys say this throughout the years that you should have started yesterday. I mean, I think it's that exact thing is that you guys are evolving everything as quickly as the independent public companies are. I mean, the day that OpenAI or Google puts something out, we have it in the platform, which is amazing. And the reality is the market changes, our packages will change. And as you guys develop, we can do that. And I think all of us have to be as nimble in the market as that. And that, we're starting out one way. We know that with some of the features that you guys will be rolling out, that we can go to market a different way, or not even a different way, just an additional way, to meet our customers where they're at. If that's, targeting, a larger customer, a different deployment scenario, a smaller customer, we're finding that this kind of resonates between independent consultants who then even want to package it up underneath their service offerings to go out to market to individual companies. And the flexibility that you've provided so far allowed us to do that. And then, our hope is next year is that kind of our go-to-market strategy is our traditional all-you-can-eat package has AI components built into it. So it's not this, additional services stack. Because we are seeing now on the flip side is that we kind of pivoted to an AI only conversation to see how that would work. And the customers are coming back and knowing that we're kind of at that trusted advisor is overused person who's helping make their business work and enabling that business, operator to do better is now coming back. If you help me do this, what else can you help me do? And so you're really getting that without having to go push out. I'll be your trusted advisor and do all the mojo that we do. They're doing it on their own and coming back and having those conversations. So how can we do that as a single package heading into 26 is really what we're looking forward to. And we believe that, with the way you guys are heading and the features coming up, hopefully we hear about here in a minute, enable us to do that.
And just to be clear, sorry, jumping in as I always do, have you guys sold clients on where it's just AI services and nothing else?
And
Yes.
they range from power companies, rural water utilities, down to individual consultants. But we started with our traditional customer and went back to them and said, "Hey, I heard you're interested in this, and let's go." And they jumped on board. So there really isn't a better approach between a new logo and an existing
Mm.
customer. It seems to resonate with everybody. It's just saying it as fast as possible in front of as many people as possible to hit home.
Yeah, and then so I'm guessing when those AI only packages come on, creates meaningful pipeline for your other services that you can
That,
try to flip over. Seems like
that's
those conversations are happening pretty naturally too, which is
They
great.
are. They are. That was the hope when we started. We didn't know if it would evolve that way. And now it's okay, let's just make sure our talk tracks are aligned to that because they're happening and we just don't want to miss out on those secondary opportunities.
It's great.
Yeah,
Great.
the ROI for AI is amazing with the agents being able to create agents for specific business value. Um, we try to talk ROI all the time with IT services, and sometimes it's pretty nebulous. But with this, it's hardcore ROI that you can show them. And if you're saving somebody 15, 20, 30 an hour a day on stuff that they have to do on a daily basis, it's or for every client that they have, it's real. It's real. So
Hey,
And do you guys find that the like an AI only package is enough meaningful sort of revenue and margin? Or is it kind of like we're going to bring in a bunch of these, knowing that, some percentage or all of them will convert into, managed services contracts? Or is it a little bit of both? I'm just curious and,
Yeah,
open, free conversation. I'm sure a lot of people are curious about this
that
too.
that that's a great question, Jimmy, and that's one that we are looking at. We started with a mindset is that if it was an AI only service, that it would be really long-term consulting add-on services. It was kind of
Yep.
our mindset going in. I don't know if we've shied away from that because our consulting services actually become more complex. Business automation. I wouldn't even say AI. AI gets used there, but it's we figure out how to automate it. We now need that to be autonomous, right? It needs to be part of a workflow. So you kind of have that consulting professional services add-on. But at the same time, the ability to add secondary managed services to it allows us, I think, to be maybe more competitive on the AI conversation, to just not be in a pricing conversation versus OpenAI's ChatGPT subscriptions, right? You're changing that conversation topic a little bit. So I think that's evolving. I think that it definitely will help in the long run, but we're still trying to figure that out.
Got it. Got it. And then putting you guys on the spot again, how much of the consultative work are you building into initial contracts, and how much of it are you either on a recurring basis or like, this initial build out is going to be a, 20-hour, 50-hour, 10-hour, 100-hour project versus like, let's just get you started and then, our consulting practice starts at, $5,000 or
Yeah,
whatever, fifty
we
thousand bucks.
our initial approach is to get them on and give them a couple hours of consulting time just to get them comfortable above and beyond training. So help them get agents off the ground, take a real business problem and work through that with them. But after that, it's, hey, we're pretty comfortable. Here's our consulting packages to either do something in the platform or do something more custom development in a cloud environment to help do that. But it hasn't been something we have to give away our professional services labor to get people going. It feels very natural for everybody, and the customers seem to run pretty fast with it.
It's great. Thanks for letting me guys. They gave me permission to put them on the spot with like totally curious, unscripted questions. So I
But
will
it's such
always
a
take
it
people
is
up
such
on that
a
offer.
That's the way.
yeah. I would say it is such a natural. It's becoming more and more of a natural bridge. I mean, we've all spent every MSP on here has spent different dollars in trying to get your name out there or try to get people's attention, whether it's through LinkedIn or through all this other advertising. This is for me, for the quality of the bucks that we put at this and the time and effort. It's getting us the logos that we've wanted for years, and now we're having a repetitive process of getting back in front of them with they're actually requesting us to be in front of them. So, I mean, the bang for the buck is it's a no brainer to talk about additional services.
I'm gonna clip that last part, Tim. The bang for the buck is a no-brainer.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys.
You guys are paying Tim a bunch on the backside of this, aren't you?
You guys have very clippable sound bites for this roundtable. So thank you.
That's
Um,
good.
really appreciate your partnership. This is great way to end the year with just hearing from you guys about how 2025 has been. So thank you. I also want to point out there are a lot of questions in the chat that people have been asking, I think you guys. So if you want to answer any of those, please feel free. Just I think follow-up questions about your what your answers were here. So feel free to jump into some of those. I think Corey and Lewis had some and Merjan, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So if anyone from IMS Solutions wants to take those in the chat, that'd be great. But we're gonna transition to go to market, and so I'm gonna hand it over to JP. And JP, if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, we'll try to tighten up on our time here. Matt is standing by to take us home. But IMS team, I think it's such an amazing to listen to how flexible you've all been, but I think it's indicative of all of our MSP partners. You've heard a lot about hats just now, but the credit does go to the flexibility, humility, ability to change that MSPs are in the cockpit really for AI, and we're very fortunate to work alongside some great MSPs like IMS and everyone here on this call. Want to definitely, just a small note on like the respect and patience and understanding that you show to our team, particularly our support team, as we provide these types of services. We're expanding the team on this end. I want to Dave is on the line. Dave, joining the sales team. Want to say a quick hello?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Dave. I'm new to the sales team. I've met some of you. It's been so great, so fun to be part of this team and get to know everybody in this partner community. So if I haven't met you, I may be over the next few weeks and down the line. I'm really looking forward to working with you guys. So thanks for the warm welcome, JP.
You're very welcome, Dave, and we're delighted to have you on the team here. And I thought it might be important to share something today, and really brings together, I guess, everything we've been working towards together with some wonderful MSPs. We do have an unfair advantage working with you guys, and I just thought it might be good to spend a couple of seconds, like just repositioning. I'll do this quickly, but maybe for any new people here, if we had a customer in the room and I'm going to give myself a job here in Shamrock IT and pretend, we have an end customer in the room. But what do we do at Shamrock IT or IMS if Brandon gave me a job? We curate all of these models and tools in a secure platform. That's what we do ultimately. The platform itself, anyone that's on the call, you can definitely make sure you log in, get your usage in, you see how it works. You see how it integrates with all of these different data sources. Matt's going to touch on where we are with the month ahead on expanding these out. But there's two simple problems we solve for first. Number one, security. Security is in your DNA as an MSP. Your sales team already have security conversations, so it's going to be easy to have a conversation with a customer around the importance of secure AI for everybody in the company. So, for example, if it's a law firm, there are 50 people, you want secure AI for all 50, not 5 people in finance. It gets expensive very quickly with other tools. Not going to name check those ones, but there are lots of great tools out there. We're a big easy button to turn on secure AI for everyone. And then the next thing, you want to make sure that everyone, all 50, are using AI every day as a co-intelligence. And that's a journey. And it sits nicely to how MSPs help their customers in a journey. So very simply, have a conversation with a customer around rolling out secure AI to everyone in their company. As an MSP, you're going to track the adoption and usage. Matt's going to mention some of that maybe hopefully as well. So again, there's data already in the platform that you can share around who's done the training that Mark talked about, how that's been tracked, who's using it, how that's been tracked. And then you're also going to help, again, get them trained and might even help on some use case development. So as Mark talked about earlier, your self-service onboarding is done. All you need to do is have a conversation with a customer, go through the sequence I just mentioned, probably a little bit slower, but making sure you have that conversation, make sure that you're the default AI partner for them. And there's a big easy button to turn it on. It's month to month, it's an easy conversation. As Brandon talked about, that could be a net new customer or an existing customer. So in the spirit, I'm going to pick up from where Kelsey left off. And if you think about where we are at the end of this year, getting towards the end of this year, the importance of getting a customer up and running, we want to accelerate that in the spirit of the 12 days of Hat Smiths. And I have the honor of having to announce present number one. We definitely want to stay tuned throughout the month, I guess, as these are unveiled. But gift number one is a gift to you as an MSP. Pick one customer. deploy to that customer by Friday. So go into the platform, pick a starter pack, and deploy to that customer by Friday. Anything that you deploy, that starter pack that you deploy by Friday, December's on us. You're going to get a credit for the month. And that does a couple of important things. It allows it can put you in a unique position really to get a customer up and running, get them on their AI journey. Now, what is a gift like that without maybe complementing it with that onboarding journey, which is the adoption pack and customer cheat sheet. So what we've done is we've repackaged a lot of the amazing work that Mark has led on with other MSPs around the onboarding. So you've seen that, how that's automated. But you also want to articulate the journey to a customer in a way that makes sense for them. And this is stemming from a lot of recent evidence from some of the other vendors in this market, people that are some of the larger LLM providers. There's key gates that every business needs to go through in this sequence. So you're not jumping to number 3 here in terms of use case creation. It's building the foundation. So having the conversation with the CEO, foundations need to get set, need to onboard your team. So that's where that onboarding is so important. They can go into the platform and do that automatically. You'll see the daily usage, and then you can begin creating use cases. So, yeah, just checking that I have enough time here for Matt. So, we're going to squeeze it in here, Matt. You're going to be on the clock. But as I wrap here, we wanted to quickly just summarize those key points. Have a conversation with a customer. Make sure that they simplify it right down. Brandon made a great point. Make it simple. It is simple. It's not a one and done. Start them on the journey. It's month to month, but you have the playbook now to give them and give them the autonomy and ownership to run their AI journey, and you can track that along the way. That's the first gift. How great is that? We're going to see what else is coming on the way. But Matt Hamilton, Matt, you might share your screen and take it from here.
Absolutely.
Product.
Yes. Let me just share my screen real quick. Okay. Hold on one sec. I haven't as well versed as you guys on this one.
I can help you out if you like, Matt.
No, I got it. There we go. That should be it. Can everybody see my screen?
You're
Oh,
nearly good to go.
do you see it?
Perfect, Matt. You're up and running.
Fantastic. There we go. All right. This team has been cooking up a lot. So I'm going to get started. The last 30 days, we've gotten a ton of updates. Most notable ones are around improving some integrations, dropping some of the new models, and a bunch of new models have dropped in the past week. So we'll be adding a lot more. Some of those will be a Merry Hats Miss to you. And other things like that. Let me go over a few of the highlights. Big one, a big request from a lot of folks being able to reorder inputs and outputs. I think this is really huge and was implemented in a way that's pretty smooth. Definitely give us any feedback on it, but hopefully creating a lot more flexibility as you create workflows and apps. Group management, we're continuing to work on that and sharing. This is a key foundational piece of secure AI, especially as more people share out agents and apps and workflows within their organizations. We've gotten a lot of feedback here, but just a note on that, please continue to give us feedback on different ways that people want to share things and those use cases, because there's a wide variety of ways you can share things. We're trying to keep it as intuitive as possible. And so I think we really launched something out here
Sorry to interrupt,
that is pretty good. Yes.
I know we've addressed this in the change log as a request, but is there a guardrail that we can easily implement to keep an organization from sharing anything with the community if we as admins don't want them to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're going to be rolling that out very soon.
Okay,
that
because
is
that's
also in the month of
we
December.
we have seen it create a massive security issue.
Yep, yep, totally. And we hear you on that, and we are going to be rolling out the ability to essentially turn community sharing off per tenant. It will continue to have templates that are official hats templates, but those will be, official hats templates, so that people don't start from zero. But definitely that control is coming in. And additionally, a lot more visibility into apps, workflows, basically things that are being created and shared across whether it's community or in groups. So MSPs will have a lot better visibility into what is being created and shared. And if someone says, "Hey, did you see this?" or "Have you heard about this?" it'll be easy for you to find it and check it out and see the information around it.
I guess to be clear, if I want to completely avoid anyone sharing to the community, that's a feature we can turn off.
That's correct. That's coming
That's
soon.
what I'm asking. Okay, got it.
Yep. Yep. So SharePoint, huge here. A lot of people wanted access to SharePoint files as well. We also made some improvements to Outlook as well. So that's a big update. And there's going to be more Microsoft 365 improvements as well coming very soon. Additionally, spreadsheets, a ton of updates here on how we deal with using spreadsheets with Code Interpreter as well as Excel. But the big advantage here is it allows the Code Interpreter to better read spreadsheets, manipulate them, all that kind of stuff. And additionally, you can also get it to create charts and plots from that, either the data you have in your spreadsheet or data that you manipulate and create with the LLM. So that's huge. And we're going to be rolling out essentially more inline images across all of the LLM responses. That's going to be a big one. Of course, new LLMs, Gemini 3 Pro, Claude 4.5 Opus, which a lot of people have been reporting has huge, much better results, much better responses, significantly better than previous. So we've been hearing a lot of good feedback around that. Automatic tool selection. So this one is another huge update. I really do think it represents a really big improvement to the way a lot of users use chat, because a lot of folks either don't know which tools to select, or they don't want to every single time they interact with chat. So with Auto Tool, it allows us to figure out what tool you might want to use and use that automatically. There's going to be more updates to this one in the future with preferences and things like that. But this initial rollout allows you to just immediately get started. And I've already used it very successfully with things like Outlook and OneDrive, for example. Custom email templates. This is a big one, so that when users get invited, you can create your own email templates around some of those email invites. That's really big. And especially, we have a really cool AI-powered editing or editor for this. There isn't a screenshot here, but I would definitely invite you to check this out, because it's super powerful if you want to make super professional looking custom emails for your invites. That was a big one. And another one is a new onboarding flow for tenants. This is massively upgraded. It reduces a ton of confusion with the onboarding flow. Just step by step, make sure we shore up any confusion around what you need to do to set up your workspace. If you drop out of the flow in the middle and come back to it, it puts you right back where you need to be, all that kind of stuff. So this is a big update for us. Maybe not as flashy, but definitely a big foundational upgrade as you onboard new folks. What's next? That's what everyone's been asking me. So yeah, Microsoft 365 is coming in. We've gotten some requests around custom tenant logos. So instead of just
Matt,
having a logo that...
Can I
Sure,
jump in
yes.
for a second on Microsoft 365?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like, we built individual tools for like every Microsoft source. And it was good because you got granular control, and if like Teams becomes very permissive, and then like, Outlook is very permissive, and maybe you don't want this, maybe you don't want that. What we also realized through talking with a lot of MSPs is it just becomes a pain for you all have to go in and approve like 10 Azure apps over and over again, and people are confused, and then you need the SharePoint tool and then the Teams tool. So we decided to fold everything into one, and then we were like, okay, the problem with folding them all into one is we're going to be requesting like every single Microsoft permission that there is. And it's like, we know all of you MSPs are very familiar with Microsoft permissions. Like, maybe if it's a new platform, you don't want to do that, blah, 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 blah. Like, new partner, whatever. So then we're like, okay, what if we could just make the tool smart enough to only activate the ones that the MSP gives the actual permissions for? So that's like that's what our team's been working on, and we're going to release this really soon. So it's going to be one Microsoft integration to rule them all, with control over permissions. And then on our side, we do permission checks to see what tools you can actually use. So if you don't want to give your team access to read, Teams data, you don't want to give the Microsoft app access to read Teams data, um, then our tool will say, hey, they don't have access to this. I'm going to disable the tools that require this permission. It's going to be a lot more simpler. We're working on simplifying the enterprise app, the approval process, all of that as well, to make it very, very seamless. I think by the time, like, I think we're up to 8 or 9 Azure app registrations between, the front end files, Excel, Teams, all of that. And then the actual login to the platform. So really excited about that, and it is going to simplify things just to make everything a lot easier.
And I think there was a question earlier about whether or not we were going to have an enterprise app, Azure Enterprise app. That's exactly what we're going for in this migration. So it is a lot of big upgrades to Microsoft, and yeah, hopefully better and less headaches in terms of having to be an admin on this. Definitely. Um, a few other things. The biggest one I think is tons of metrics around what's being used. I know we've gotten a ton of questions around usage. We've got a lot coming through there, both on that side and the visibility stuff that I just mentioned earlier. I know that Jimmy has teased the prospecting pitching module before. That is still on its way, so we're still working on that. And then a few other things here. SSO, which we've been doing in beta with a few select partners. Still trying to get that right, but it should be rolling out in Q1. And then also another thing that we've heard from a lot of folks is around user provisioning. It's definitely helpful for a lot of automated flows and things like that. So we're working on that as well. So definitely keep an eye on that. And some of these things will be launching for Hatsmith. So it's going to be a big December for us. Lastly, I just wanted to show a little peek into that dashboard. There's a lot of information that's going to be coming with this upgraded dashboard, so that the dashboard really becomes a place that you can check in on usage and trends. Anywhere from the amount of credits that are being used across all tenants or on one tenant, or a workshop leaderboard where you can see the apps, workflows, and agents that are being used with information like what it's called and who created it and things like that. Although, like I mentioned, there's going to be another place that will also give you that type of visibility and more. And you'll also be able to see things like power users. So it's really going to help you understand across all tenants and for one organization as well, what the usage is like and what those trends look like. So I'm super excited for this to be rolling out. It's a little bit what it looks like. And I think that's about it for my piece. I know that was a little quick, but we've got a lot of stuff going on. So I'm excited about everything rolling out.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. We have 2 minutes left for Q&A and open discussion, but I know there was a very lively discussion going on in the chat pretty much the whole time. Um, JR asking about Nano Banana Pro. Just saying, maybe check your stockings in a couple of days. So
What are you trying to say there, Mark?
I'm just saying it's going to be a big month. It's going to be a big month for us. We had an integration August over the summer. We've got Hatsmas in December. Who knows what we'll do for, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day,
Ross
Arbor
says,
Day.
Yeah, I'll go a step further as the salesperson I can sell on Roadmap. Jimmy knows that. I highly recommend people log on to Feature Friday on Friday
Yeah.
and see what's in the stockings. I'll say the link is in the chat. So Feature Friday.
JP's cooking up something good for St. Patrick's Day for everybody too. So keep your eyes out for that. It's coming down the pipeline.
Oh man. All right. I'm gonna give Jimmy the last word here to wrap up. But I just wanted to say thanks to everyone who hopped on today. This was I think our best roundtable ever. Um, Come to Feature Fridays, Festive Fridays with Ali and the team. And Jimmy, over to you to wrap us up.
Yeah, no, thank you all for joining. It's been a phenomenal year, and super thankful for partnership with everyone, and it's been a lot of fun. And we're gonna continue pushing on the gas and keep releasing as much as possible. And super excited to have Matt on the team too. Helping us simplify the product and make it more usable. So, a lot of those recent updates come from Matt being like, "Hey guys, I know we want to build this cool thing. Let's simplify it in the process." So, thank you all.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
yeah, thanks, and Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas. Happy New Year.